start the recording. All right, so the point of this presentation, if you're struggling to find jobs and internships, this is the workshop for you. Tonight, I'm going to focus on a strategy that I want you to start using that has been proven to work. Okay, so I've counseled hundreds of students using this same exact process that I'm going to share with you tonight. And those students that use it and those students that use it well are successful. But you can't just use part of the process. You have to use the whole process. If you truly want a job or internship by the time the semester ends, all you have to do is follow my lead, and you'll have much more success than what you have been experiencing on your own. Keep in mind, this is the process that we're talking about tonight is in addition to your resume and cover letter. And all of these things combined together are the tools that are going to be needed to be successful. So tonight we're going to focus on how to find the opportunities that we can use, how to find the opportunities where we can actually send in our resume and cover letter. I'm going to focus on some key takeaways that you can actually start implementing after this workshop tonight. So there's your incentive for hanging out with me this evening, is having the takeaways and actually being able to use them after the workshop. All right. So what I am displaying here on this screen is some of the most popular web tools to use when you're looking for jobs and internships. And you may be familiar with a lot of these. Some of these you may have never even thought of using to look for jobs and internships. Now, when you come in and talk to me for appointments, I encourage you to stick with Handshake. And there's a reason why I encourage you to stick with Handshake. And I always try to tell you what that reason is. But I want to go over these other things, these other tools as well, because these tools are valuable. And depending on the tool that you use is going to determine the types of results that you're going to see. So even though I encourage you to use Handshake as your primary tool to find jobs and internships, I also want you to think about using these other tools as well. And I want to briefly describe what these tools are. So take a look at the list here. There's 10 of them. And see if you can find Angel List. Angel List is in the middle towards the bottom. Angel List is a great tool to use if you're looking for a startup. So if you want to work at a startup, if you think a startup is a good opportunity for you, it's a good environment for you, it's a good atmosphere, typically a younger crowd, smaller company, lots of opportunity for you to wear many hats within the organization. I encourage you to go on the Angel List and see if you might be able to find something that's interesting to you. So it's a great tool to use for startups. Take a look at BuzzFile, which is right above Angel List. BuzzFile is a website that you can check out that gives you information on companies. So if you want to find out more information, if you're doing research, if you have an interview with a company and you want to find out more information about them, you can use BuzzFile to help you with that. It's considered the most advanced company information database. So I encourage you to check out that website for research purposes. Lower right-hand corner, Dice. I've been using Dice for years when I've been looking for information management and technology positions. Dice connects the best technical talent with job opportunities around the world. So if you've never heard of Dice before, you never used it, it's a great website to use. It's a great search engine to use for technology type jobs. Lower left-hand corner, we have a website called Firsthand. And Firsthand helps applicants students, job seekers, and professionals find the right career path using the power of firsthand experiences. So this is a website you can go to where if you're not really sure what it is that you want to do and you just want to find out more about different types of jobs, you will hear firsthand from people that are in the jobs what the job entails. So once again, great site to check out when you are kind of feeling out the market, kind of feeling out the industry, trying to determine where you might fit in. Right-hand side middle, we have a website called Indeed. This is one that you might be familiar with. A lot of students are familiar with this one. Indeed is trying to put job seekers first. So they're giving them free access to search for jobs. You can post resumes on Indeed, and it's another site where you can research companies. And every day, according to Indeed, they connect millions of people to new opportunities. So Indeed is a great site to check out. I know it's corny, sorry. Upper right-hand corner, we have LinkedIn. Everybody knows about LinkedIn. You must have a LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn leverages the world's largest professional network to connect with opportunities. Great site to use for networking, great site to use to find alumni, great site to use to find jobs and internships. And they have a really well-developed website where you can really scale down your filtering and what you're looking for and get into specifics and really drill down into what you want, and you'll be able to pull out opportunities from there. There's a tool right underneath LinkedIn called United OPT, and this is for our international students out there. And this is actually a website that I tell international students to go to when they come in and visit me. Sometimes I forget. It is on our answers page. This is where you can find OPT jobs, CPT jobs, and jobs for international students to find companies who sponsor with a H-1B. So United OPT is a great site to go to for international students who need those types of jobs. So absolutely, international students, please take advantage of that site. Left-hand middle, we have Glassdoor, very, very popular site. Glassdoor has millions of jobs, salary information, great site to use for salary information, company reviews, and even interview questions that you can check out from various companies, all posted anonymously by employees and job seekers like yourself. So certainly Glassdoor is a great tool to reference. Google is another one where you can just simply go to Google and type in either the company name or the job description that you're looking for, or job title, and Google will pull out a result based on what you're looking for. And finally, we have Handshake. And if I can just briefly talk about Handshake for a second, I don't work for Handshake. I don't get any extra money by mentioning Handshake, but it's the tool that we use at Syracuse. And a couple of things about Handshake. First of all, every college and university, most college and universities use Handshake, okay? And we all have our own standalone version of Handshake. As a university at Syracuse, we vet every company that's in Handshake, meaning we make sure they're real companies with real opportunities. So you can be rest assured that when you are looking in Handshake for opportunities, that they're real opportunities. Very few of these other sites that we're checking out on this screen, on this slide, do that. So a lot of times you'll apply to a job on LinkedIn and that's been expired for 6 months. It's just that LinkedIn hasn't got around to taking that job off of there. Or it could be a fake company with a fake opportunity. And, you know, LinkedIn doesn't have the luxury of making sure that that's a real company like we do with Handshake. So that's why I like to promote Handshake first and foremost, is because of our vetting process. The other thing that I want to make sure you understand is companies in Handshake put in their own internships and jobs. We do not do that for them. So if a company is putting in an internship or job in our version of Handshake, you can be rest assured that they're probably looking for a Syracuse University student when they do that. Why else would they put it in our iteration of Handshake? And when you apply to that job, you're one of the few people that has access to that job, unless it's also on their website, which many times it's not. It's just in Handshake because they're looking for a Syracuse University student. You are going up against other Syracuse University students when you apply versus the world when you apply on Glassdoor, Indeed, Google, or LinkedIn, right? So you have the advantage of utilizing Handshake to help you streamline your search and help you have the advantage of already knowing that the company is looking for us. Okay, so now we have a nice list of tools to use for our search, right? And we have tools to use to search for jobs and internships. We have tools to use to search for company information. We have tools to use for different types of companies like startups with AngelList. And we have tools to use to help us with our researching of salaries like Glassdoor. So let's move on. The next thing I want to talk about is profiles. And I want to talk about your profiles in LinkedIn and in Handshake. Okay, very, very important that we talk about this. Now, remember, we're looking for jobs and internships. I want you to make sure that your LinkedIn profile and your Handshake profile are completely filled out and they're updated. Like, you need to keep these profiles updated as much as you keep your resume and cover letter updated. And the reason why is because our recruiters are very aggressive. And a lot of times they will go into Handshake and LinkedIn and look you up, and they will look up your profile. And if your profile matches what they're looking for in a job or internship, they will contact you on their own so that you don't have to do all of the work. How great would it be for you to update your Handshake profile tonight and wake up tomorrow and already have 2 companies that have emailed you because they're interested in you based on what they saw on your profile? This is no joke. It's not a lie. This happens all the time. I have students who constantly get contacted in Handshake and LinkedIn from companies personally, just because they kept their profiles updated in both of those platforms. So I'm encouraging you 110% to keep both of those profiles updated. All you have to do is follow their lead. You know, fill out one of them. Like, do your LinkedIn profile, do it well, fill it out, and then simply copy and paste what you have in LinkedIn and put it right into Handshake, the exact same information. That way you don't have to redo everything from scratch. So the other thing is, like, LinkedIn has an about section. This is where you need to go in and you need to put in keywords, key terms and phrases that are in your industry, that are in the type of job that you're looking for, or the types of skills that you have. Because when a company does a filter and they do a search, it oftentimes is searching by the about section and it's filtering words in the about section. It's also filtering by your skills as well that you put into LinkedIn. So I want to make sure that you have both of those sections completed so that you can hit their filters when they're searching for them. Once you do that, I want you to be ready for being contacted by employers. You know, I have a lot of students who contact me and say, Jeff, I got contacted by a company from Handshake about an opportunity that I never reached out to them for. Is this a real opportunity? And I tell students, absolutely. Like, that's what's supposed to happen. Like, you did it right. You know, make your life easier. If you take the time, take a half hour and fill out your profiles, on LinkedIn and Handshake, you're going to be amazed at the amount of reach out you're going to get from companies. But here's the thing, if you don't do it and a company happens to find you and they look at your profile and it's not filled out, they're not going to waste their time. They're going to move on. So it only makes sense for you to do that and make your life easier by filling out those profiles. Okay, and if you have any questions about filling out the profiles, we've had many LinkedIn workshops, and anything that we talk about in LinkedIn, you can simply apply to Handshake. But if you have any questions about any of those, you can always contact us in Career Services, and we're more than happy to help you with those. Okay, so now let's talk about how to search. So we know where to search, right? We got tools to use to search. We know we need to fill out our profiles. So now we need to know, well, how do we search? What are we searching for? Okay, so I alluded in a couple of other, in my last slide about keywords and phrases. So I want you to think about keywords, and I want you to focus on your skills here. We don't want to load up your resume with keywords, okay? That's not the idea of the resume. We're not just simply putting keywords in your resume and hoping that an applicant tracking system pulls out those keywords. That's not going to help you. But you can do that in LinkedIn and Handshake. You can put keywords in there as long as they reflect you, and as long as they are showing off as long as you truly have those skills. Load it up, man. Put as many skills as you have to offer an organization in both of those platforms, so that when companies do their searches, they will find you. You know, and when you're thinking of words and phrases, there's some questions that you can ask yourself. Like, are you looking for an internship or job? This is what you can put in the about section of LinkedIn. I'm currently looking for an internship. You don't put that in the headline of LinkedIn. That's not what the headline is for. You put it in the about section. What roles do you think you're looking for? Data analyst, project manager, digital innovation, UI, UX, project manager, product manager, right? What kind of organization do you think you might want to work for? Large organization, small organization, startup, entrepreneur. You know, look at what companies are looking for in their different roles and positions that they have posted, and take what they're saying they're looking for and put that into what you have to offer. So let's see, Lucian, in your LinkedIn profile, go to view profile, click more button, and download profile, which can autofill other profiles. Oh, is Handshake one of those options, Lucian? Is that what you're saying? Or it'll download other profiles from other sites.
It downloads the LinkedIn profile, and then you can upload the same LinkedIn profile to like Handshake or Glassdoor. That's the only two.
Oh, I got you. It downloads it into a file?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you for that. That's a great tip. Okay, so here are some popular job titles that our students get for both jobs and internships. So I want you to take a look at this list. So a lot of questions that I get when I meet with students is, I'm not even sure what to look for when it comes to a job or an internship. So these are the most popular ones. So once again, I will share this presentation with you so that you have this list. But I want you to think about what you are currently concentrating in if you're undergrad, or grad, what you are currently getting your degree in. And these are the most popular job titles that you will find. And I can tell you that, I mean, geez, you look up any one of these in Handshake or LinkedIn for jobs and or internships, there are tons available. And I'm going to prove that to you tonight. There's tons available. So I don't want to jump ahead, but this is a great list to reference. So once again, depending on what it is that you want to do, these are great titles to use. A lot of our students who come out of the information management and technology program with no concentration go into the business analyst type role. If you're focusing on project management, then you got project manager, data analyst, data scientist is in there. Common question, do I look for data analyst or do I look for data scientist? Or do I look for data engineer? And I tell students, look for all of them, because companies don't know what to call it. They don't know the difference between a data analyst or a data scientist. So they're going to put data analyst skills in the data scientist role. So never go by job title, always go by job requirements. So don't automatically weed yourself out because it says senior business analyst. Okay, look at what they're looking for. And speaking of that, I want to do an aside for a second. When you're looking at the job requirements or internship requirements, and you're trying to decide if you want to apply to that job or internship or not, your rule of thumb is 60%. If you have 60% of what they're looking for in the requirements, you apply. You have nothing to lose by applying. The worst that the company can say to you is no. You know, the worst they can say is you're not a good fit for this role. So what? The best that they can say is we want to talk to you, right? Because they may see something in what you have to offer that is going to benefit them. So 60% is your rule of thumb. It's not 90%, it's 60%. All right. So when you are searching on LinkedIn, trying to circle the spots in LinkedIn that you can search on. So you have this jobs button at the top in the center section. And then you can also just type in the search in the upper left-hand corner of what you're looking for. You can use jobs for better targeting, and you're going to have a lot more filtering options, but you can use the search option for a more holistic approach. All things related to titles and roles, right? If you want to see everything that's in LinkedIn regarding a particular search that you put in there, you'll see that. You'll also see networking profiles, alumni and recruiters, company pages, news and trends, all that different kinds of information if you're using the search feature. We are going to focus on the jobs section. So take a look at this. So when you click on jobs, it's going to ask you in the upper left-hand corner to put in either a company, a job title, a job description. And then it'll ask you for location if you have a particular location that you're interested in. Now, this slide I just put in here yesterday. So I want you to notice that I typed in data analyst. I use United States as my focus. Oh, then I'm letting somebody in. I use United States as my location. And notice, and I'm doing, I didn't do any other filters. Okay, so I just did data analyst and United States. And LinkedIn is saying there's over 200,000 data analyst type positions in LinkedIn right now. Over 200,000 data analyst type positions. There's no reason why, if you are in the data analyst field, that you shouldn't be finding opportunities. So my point to you is the opportunities are there. You know, they're there. So there's something that we're doing that's not connecting with employers. Is it the resume? Is it the cover letter? Is it how we are, our profiles aren't filled out? Is it we're not doing well in the interview? So these are things that we have to determine. What is it that is causing us not to get the opportunity that we want? The opportunities are there. This is what I'm trying to show you. This workshop should give you a good feeling that the opportunities are out there. We just have to find them there. And I guarantee you guys, There is a company out there right now that is looking for you, that are looking for your skills. We just have to find that company. That's the fun part of looking for jobs and internships. We got to find them, but you can't give up. You got to stay the course. So some of the filters that you'll see there at the top: date posted, experience level. This is where you can say, are you looking for full-time? Are you looking for part-time? Are you looking for entry level? Are you looking for internship? Company specific data, job type. Do you want on-site or remote? That's new. Do you want just easy apply, which means it'll take, if you have a LinkedIn account and click easy apply, it'll pull your information off of that account for you. So you only want to see those jobs that are easy apply. So you can, you have all these different types of filters. You can also filter by, if you go to all filters, industry, right? Maybe you want to go into finance. Maybe you want to go into retail. Maybe you want to go into telecommunications. Specific location that you're interested in. I only want to work in New York. I only want to work in Boston. My family's in Oregon, whatever. And job function and title you can search by as well. So this is the power that LinkedIn is giving you on finding jobs and internships. Now, comparatively, I also wanted to give Handshake its due diligence as well. I just want to reiterate, I do not work for Handshake. I'm not getting any money by promoting Handshake. But in my opinion, I love Handshake. And I love Handshake because of the reasons that I gave you. So I'm encouraging you to really get comfortable using this tool. You do not realize how valuable this tool is to you. And at the risk of sounding like an old man, I didn't have these tools when I was looking for jobs when I was in college. I had to physically mail in resumes and look at jobs through the newspaper. So the fact that you have a tool specifically for Syracuse University called Handshake, just sitting out there waiting for you, is amazing. So, and it works exactly the same way as LinkedIn. So if you're comfortable with LinkedIn, you're going to be comfortable with Handshake. When you log into your Handshake profile, click on jobs in the upper left-hand corner. And then you see your filters. Now, once again, I just did this search yesterday and put this screenshot in. All I did when I clicked on jobs is type in data analyst. I didn't do any other filters. And in Handshake, there's over 1.4 thousand data analyst type roles, both entry-level, internship, full-time, part-time jobs for data analysts. 1.4 thousand in all different locations. So once again, proving to you that the jobs are there. And just to prove to you too that I just put this job in there yesterday, look at the date in the lower right-hand corner. It says the application deadline is March 23rd, 2022. So you know that this is not, 4 years old, this screenshot. So I'm telling you, man, the jobs are there. The jobs are there. So, and I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna stop there, because now to even hit this point home further, I'm going to bring in a student that is going to talk to you about using LinkedIn and Handshake to find internships and jobs. Actually, a student that was successful in doing this. So I would be remiss if I didn't say I wanted to thank KTP, which is the fraternity organization at the School of Information Studies, for promoting this workshop. I truly appreciate you guys going the extra mile and promoting this workshop for me. You did a fantastic job on the marketing and pushing this out on, I know you pushed it out on Instagram, and anything else you pushed it out on, I appreciate it. So I'm going to bring in Ella Farrell. And Ella is a junior, and she's at the School of Information Studies, as well as the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs. She's also the Director of Professional Development for Kappa Theta Pi. And she is going to talk about briefly her experience finding her internship through LinkedIn. So Ella, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Professor Fouts. So hi, everyone. My name is Ella, and I am the Director of Professional Development for KTP. And I will be an intern this summer at Baker Tilly, which is a smaller accounting firm, sort of like a Big Four company, but a little bit smaller. And I'll be working in their consulting division in the Government Contracting Services office. So I started looking for internships for this summer last year. I was abroad last semester, and so I didn't want to go through the stress of trying to find an internship while I was, 6 hours ahead time zone wise. So I started looking last summer. And one of the things I found was that a lot of opportunities for sophomores, you can find those through externships. And I had seen a LinkedIn post from a friend who was like, I'm going to this externship, late in May. And I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. So I did some searching on LinkedIn, just literally looked up the word externship, and all of these opportunities popped up. And I found one at Baker Tilly. I applied and I ended up, which I think we're going to get to later, networking with someone else who works at Baker Tilly, who is also a Syracuse alum. And we had a quick Zoom chat. We talked about what it's like working at the firm, what she likes about it, how her path at Syracuse brought her to Baker Tilly. And so having that resource on LinkedIn and just being able to use the platform to find that opportunity is eventually what got me my internship for this summer. Through the externship, we did like a day of team building activities and professional development activities, and then you automatically get to the second round of interviews. And so having that sort of leg up as a sophomore helped me get that internship for this summer. So I would also recommend looking for if you're a freshman or sophomore looking for externships. But yeah, LinkedIn was super helpful. And I also was just looking, and those opportunities are also on Handshake. So you should definitely use that platform as well.
Thank you, Ella. That was fantastic. Appreciate it. And thanks for throwing in Handshake as well. Julia's giving you the clap. Allison gave you a clap as well. So perfect. That was a perfect lead in into where we're headed as far as networking goes. Certainly very, very important piece to the puzzle of finding jobs and internships. So thank you for sharing your experience, and congratulations to you, by the way. And that's for this summer, right? You're doing that internship? Yeah. So good luck to you, and I hope you're excited.
Thank you. Yes, I am very excited.
And where is it?
It's in Washington, D.C.
Oh, nice. Have you been there before?
I have. Yes, I'm excited to hopefully live there. I'm hoping that it'll be in person. So.
Oh, okay. So you don't know yet?
Yeah, they haven't told us yet.
Okay, awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go back. To our presentation. And I just wanted to give you a word of caution. When you are looking for jobs, if the job seems too good to be true, chances are it is, okay? And unfortunately, there's still a lot of companies out there that are taking advantage of students. So you just want to be careful. If there's any job that is that's rife with errors, grammatical and spelling errors, chances are that's not a legit job. Chances are it's spam. If they are claiming to be from websites, claiming that there's a problem with the Job Hunters account, they're asking you for extensive personal information. Anytime they ask you for banking information, social security information, any bank account numbers. I had a student who shared an email with me where the company wanted the student to go out and buy all of the equipment that they're going to need for the job first. And then the company said that they will reimburse them afterwards. if a company wants you to have equipment, they will supply the equipment. They're not going to require you to go out and purchase it. So that's a red flag right there. That's definite, not a legit job. If an employer offers the opportunity to become rich without leaving home, chances are it's too good to be true. That just doesn't happen. If it did, then we'd all be doing that. And an employer asks for money up front. Ooh, that's definite no. The salary and benefits offered seem too good to be true. I've had students who they didn't even talk to the employer. They were just like, they either were contacted by someone, or maybe they spoke to them one time, and then the employer automatically comes back and gives them an offer. Chances are that's not a legit offer. Okay, because you haven't really even talked to the employer at this point. So how are they making you an offer on something that you don't even really know what you're doing? So I just wanted to caution you with these types of things. Just be careful, be diligent. I want you to be diligent with job searching, just like you would be on if you get a rogue email where it's asking you to send money to a sheik in Egypt, or there's a attachment that you're not familiar with that you're not going to open. So same kind of idea here. Okay. So I'm going to stop the video. Yeah, good. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to spend the majority of the rest of my time talking to you about networking. Okay, networking is so important to do. And the statistics say 80% of all jobs and internships are found through networking. Ella gave you an example of the power of networking, and you have to get out of your comfort zone. This is no time to be shy. This is no time to feel uncomfortable contacting people. You have to reach out to people and let them know that you're searching for jobs and internships. Let them help you. And I'm going to give you a strategy that's going to help you with that. So look, our strategy so far, I've given you different sites that you can go to start looking for opportunities. Told you to make sure you fill out your profiles. Gave you keywords and positions to search for. We talked about LinkedIn and Handshake being primary tools, right? So once you find the opportunity that you're interested in, 60% of the requirements that the company is looking for, if you hit 60%, you apply. After you apply to that job or internship, now we network. Never wait for somebody before you apply. Always apply first before you start networking. Otherwise, you'll be waiting for weeks before somebody finally gets back to you. And by then the job might be filled already. So just apply. There's nothing wrong with you applying and then somebody asking you for your resume afterwards. That's fine. Okay, so I found this on LinkedIn and I wanted to share it with you. It's just a humorous networking situation. So this person posted it and said, beyond thrilled, physically nauseous to announce that my father has just booked a tea time with a guy who knows basically everyone in HR at Goldman, meaning I will be updating my title to incoming potential summer analyst hire view virtual interview candidate at Goldman Sachs. I want to take a second to remember the little people that cradled me through this journey, like the bouncer that wouldn't let me slip him a 20 to let me in last weekend. So I told him I would make more than him next summer. I will. I bet you're feeling pretty dumb right now, Derek. Okay. So because his father is networking with the person in HR at Goldman, this student is feeling pretty confident that they are going to be getting a internship at Goldman Sachs, thanks to his dad. So look, man, there's nothing wrong with you using family members to help you find opportunities. So you utilize every single person out there, every single thing out there at your fingertips that's going to help you get opportunities. And never feel bad about that. That's the whole point of having family and friends, is to help you get opportunities, and you will do the same thing. I always tell students, reach out to alumni on LinkedIn, and we're going to be doing the same thing to you. When you get jobs and internships, we're going to be reaching out to you so that you can help current students. That's what we do. We pay it forward. All right, so let's take a look. So the reason why you want to network is because it's kind of like a planned process, you know, and this is how you become known. This is how you start meeting people through social settings. These are people that can provide information to you about things like job openings and leads, personal contacts and startup companies who have the power to hire. Keep these objectives in mind when you are networking. To inform people that you're available for hire. This is the reason why you network, to let people know. Uncover hidden jobs, and we're going to talk about that. Open up channels of communication. Increase your knowledge of companies in the industry. Create a positive impression with an individual. Practice your interviewing skills. Man, you know, I've had students who say, oh, I'm not going to go on the interview. I'm not going to get that job. Well, even if you feel like you're not going to get it, you should go on the interview anyway, if for nothing else, just to get practice. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I've been on tons of interviews where I've actually had no interest in the job, but I went on the interview anyway, just for the practice of going on the interview and trying things out. I got nothing to lose, right? I didn't want the job anyway. So I'm going to try things out and see the reaction of the recruiter and see if it lands or not. If it lands, I'll keep using it. And if the recruiter kind of makes a face and doesn't really appreciate what I'm telling them, then I know that that's not working and I'll try something different. Networking, though, requires initiative on your part. And I want to say this to you. I know that networking sucks, okay? I know it's the worst part of the whole process of finding a job. At least for me, it is. I'll use myself as an example. Networking is really, really hard. If you've never networked before and reached out to people, it can seem very uncomfortable to do that. And it's very unnatural. You know, we all want to do things for ourselves. We all want to find the job or internship ourselves and be proud in ourselves for finding that job. But when it comes to opportunities out there, a lot of times you have to rely on others to help you. That's the name of the game when it comes to jobs and internships, is networking. So people who network are going to go further than people who don't. People who network will find opportunities faster than people who don't. So yeah, you might get that job on your own and feel good about that, but it might be, you know, 6 months down the line, where if you would have networked, you would have had it 4 months ago. So I want you to think about that. Your personal network is limited only by your willingness to contact people. You can begin with parents and relatives, use your professors, any supervisors you've had. You can use us in career services, absolutely. Administrators, your friends, your classmates. I mean, you already have a built-in network simply by being at the university. And everyone you come in contact with is a possible link in your network to use. So you want to expand your network as much as you can and let people know that you are in the market. You can also use things like job fairs, which we have one every semester. Professional organizations like, I know I said this wrong, it's KTP, right? I think it's KTP, or did I say that right, Ella?
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. Volunteering is a great opportunity as well to make connections. And you can use tools like LinkedIn to make connections, especially with Syracuse alumni. Okay, so we know why networking is key. Here's my fancy PowerPoint animations. Don't be impressed. Over the course of your career, you're going to develop and maintain connections to other people in your field and related professions. So these connections are going to offer you opportunities to learn from others, seek advice. You're going to find potential role models to help you find and refine your career. Okay, networking is critical to the success of you being the new professional that you are. And when done right, networking can appear natural and organic. And it's only going to appear that way the more that you do it. So it's going to be weird the first couple of times that you reach out to people. If you've never done it before, it's going to feel weird. But by the fourth or fifth person that you reach out to, it's going to start becoming natural. And you're going to start realizing things that you're saying that hit, that people respond to, and things that you say that you don't get any response from. And this is how you start learning to tailor your message based on who it is that you're talking to. You may have a dinner or a lunch with a friend where you can maximize your interactions and build on your personal resources. So you are looking for people who are going to be able to assist you in your job and internship search. And your goal, and this is important, is you want a long-term relationship with these people. You do not want a short-term, because you never know when you may need them again. And you want to be able to help them in their time of need as well. So once again, we help each other through the process. We all are going through the process at the same time. Even if you have a job, people are constantly on the lookout for bigger and better opportunities, and they utilize their network to help them. All right, so I want you to check out these statistics. And to me, these were very interesting. All right, so 44% of LinkedIn users make more than $75,000 per year. So 44% of LinkedIn users. So that's the power of using LinkedIn. The point is, if you create your profile on LinkedIn and you find opportunities in LinkedIn, chances are you're going to be making a pretty good salary. You're 5 times more likely for a handshake recruiter to reach out to you when you fill out your profile completely. Statistics say you're 5 times more likely to get a reach out from a recruiter. LinkedIn members are 9 times more likely to get hired when referred. 9 times more likely. But the thing is, you have to be very careful. You can't just contact somebody on the first contact and ask them for a referral. They're not going to do that. You have to build a relationship first before they're going to refer you. Now I'm going to show you how to do that. 70% of hires are a result of a personal connection. Do you see that statistic? 70% of hires are a result of personal connections. That's amazing. 40% of jobs are found through the hidden job market. So I want to briefly talk to you about that for a second. The hidden job market means, and this is true for Syracuse University as well, when an organization has an opening, the very first thing that they do is they go to their current employees and they say, who do you know? Who do you know that we can bring in and interview for this position that we have open? That way, we don't have to advertise. We don't have to collect resumes. We don't have to go through this process of weeding people out and taking weeks upon weeks of finally getting a pool of people that we can bring in and interview. We're just going to go to our current employees and ask them, who do they know? And make the process very, very easy for us. So the job never gets advertised, meaning you never find out about it on LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Indeed, Handshake, right? So when you network, when the company goes to the current employees and says, who do you know? Somebody might say, well, I don't know anybody personally, but I just met somebody on LinkedIn, a student at my at the college that I graduated from, that I think would be great for this position. I'm going to reach out to them and see if they're interested. That happens all the time, but it can't happen unless you network. So that's the idea. That's the power of networking, is now you're tapping into what's called the hidden job market, positions that never get advertised. Just because of your network, you're finding out about these opportunities. So very interesting. Okay, so why is there this hidden job market? And I kind of talked about it a little bit before. Definitely companies want to hire quickly. Employee referrals count for a lot. Man, if you're a good employee, right? You're a good worker. Why would you not recommend a good worker? You know, it only makes sense. It saves a ton of money, saves a ton of time, saves a ton of resources of not having to get everybody involved in trying to find a new person for this job. And you have to remember that, and I try to hit this home when we talk about interviewing. Companies are hiring people, not credentials. That's why you are going through more and more behavioral interviews, because the company wants to make sure that you're going to be a good fit culturally for the organization, not technically. Everybody's coming in with the same technical skills, but not everybody's coming in with the same people skills. And it's the people skills that's going to cause you to stay. If you can get along with different types of people, you're going to have longevity in your career. If you struggle working with different types of personalities and different types of people, you're gonna struggle. Your career is going to be short-lived because you're going to get burnt out. You're not going to be able to stand it working with those people for very long. So behavioral interviews, companies are trying to weed out your reactions to things that have happened as you're working with people. How do you build a relationship before asking for a referral? Yes, Yasmin, I'm getting there. Great question. Okay, so we talked about the hidden job market. Now take a look at this graphic. So it's a converted triangle, and you'll see employers' recruitment methods at the top and job seeker strategies down at the bottom. So job seekers are using listings as their primary way of finding jobs, right? We're using Handshake and LinkedIn. Employers are using the hidden job market to find employees. Do you see the disconnect there? We're relying on the job listings, but employers are relying on referrals. This is the whole point of me showing you this graphic. So anything in green is the connection between employers' recruiting methods and job seeker strategies. This is the synergy between the two. The only way you're going to tap into that hidden job market is if you network. And that's the main main piece that I wanted to make sure I hit home by showing you this graphic. Employers prefer to hire within. Employers prefer to hire through referrals. So you have to network in order to tap into that. Now, networking is meeting and getting to know people, building relationships, and following up. You have to keep the relationship going. You cannot let it die. The networking is not asking for a job. It's not simply collecting business cards. That's not networking. Randomly passing out resumes. That's not networking. Using people for information you think they have, okay? And the key there is using people. We're not using people. We are asking them to help us, and in return, if we can, we will also help them as well. So the misconceptions of networking is, and this, a lot of students do this, and you're killing yourself when you do this. You are not reaching out to people asking them to take your resume. You are not reaching out to people asking them for a referral. This is what you're reaching out for. And I want you to use this. The key word, my friends, my fellow students, my peers, is advice. Oh, so great, so great. We're looking for advice, not resume or referrals. This is how you get your foot in the door with people. Why is advice the key to use when you are networking? because asking for advice is non-committal. You're not asking the person for anything. When you ask for their resume, now you're asking for a commitment. You're putting this person on the spot, someone who doesn't know you, to take your resume and refer you for this job, who they don't know if you're a good worker or not. And you have to remember that if you suck, then that means they had a bad referral. So that makes them look bad. So we can't come right out and ask them to take our resume. We have to build a relationship. And the starting point of that relationship is ask for advice. So I want you to use this template when you're reaching out to people on LinkedIn. Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm a student from SU with a major in information management technology. I see you went to SU. Go Orange. Because guess what? We are networking with alumni. We are not networking with hiring managers, and we're not networking with technical recruiters. Those people are not going to help you. Stop networking with them. You're not going to hear back from them. And even if you do, you're not going to get the information you're looking for. They get pinged all day long by people looking for information. You know who doesn't get pinged all day long? Alumni. And guess what? Alumni want to help you. How do I know this? Because I get alumni who contact me all the time and say, Jeff, how can I help? And one of the things that I say is, look, if a student contacts you, help them the best that you can with anything that they need to help them find jobs and internships. So when you reach out to alumni and you say in that second portion, I just applied for this job or internship at the company that they work for and wanted some advice on what a good candidate would look like for this position. Any information you can give me would be appreciated. You are going to be amazed at the amount of support that you get from alumni. Amazed. And I would bet that you would get a response from 5 out of every 10 people that you contact through alumni, simply by asking for advice. So that's the key. Now, common question. Okay, Jeff, so I reached out to somebody, they gave me advice. Now what do I do? How do I keep the relationship going, right? First of all, it's up to you to keep the relationship going, not them. They're working already. So you have to keep it going. And the way that you do that, and I was just telling a student this this evening, if you hear something, if you learn something new in class, if you hear something on the news, you read something on the internet that you think this person would be interested in, if you find out something about the company that you think is cool, share that information with this person that you just connected with. Push it out to them. Push out the link. Push out the news URL. Push out the internet website. Push out the information that you just learned to them and say, hey, thought you would be interested in this based on what it is that you're doing in the organization. And then at the end, because you've already connected at this point, by the way, just wanted to remind you that I applied for the internship at IBM or whatever the company is, right? Now, you guys, you do that 2 or 3 times of pushing them information. Your goal, your ultimate goal, is you want them to ask you for your resume, not the other way around. So if they ask you, you're golden, man. Send them your resume. They're going to give it to the hiring manager. If they have not asked you for your resume after the second or third reach out that you've given them of pushing them information, then it's okay for you to say, hey, by the way, would you mind taking my resume and giving it to the hiring manager? At least they've seen your name and they got information from you a couple of times throughout this process where it's not a cold reach out anymore, right? So they're going to be more apt to want to help you by that point than they would be if you asked them to do that at the very beginning. So that is my advice to you, to try. And I have a very, very good feeling just by former students who have done this, that you're going to be amazed at the amount of support that you get. So I want you to try this and I want you to report back to me and tell me if it worked or not. I'm very curious. Now check out this testimonial from a student who networked. So a student is saying, this is an email that I got from a student who I encouraged to network. I spoke with a VP of client delivery at a major consulting firm. So they spoke with a VP, they had a wonderful 30-minute conversation. That conversation was earned through a mutual introduction and then engaging my target through industry interests, right? So they got the whole reason the conversation happened in the first place was because of another connection. Today, during the conversation, I asked the type of people they were hiring, as they are actually looking for all levels of talent, and how they have been able to plan on hiring so many people. After his explanation and talking to him about my skill sets, he said he would be happy to take my resume and give it to a few people. Golden. This is the win you're looking for, and now completely bypass the random online application process. And I now have backing from a VP that I'm someone they should talk to. The best part, you know what this cost me. A few LinkedIn messages and a 30-minute conversation. And you know what I gained? I now have corporate sponsorship, a new contact I can reach out to, and a potential new job. That's the power of networking. Another example. I just saw this on LinkedIn today. You may have seen this as well. The person is saying, my resume is the least needed document in my job search journey. Before you jump to conclusions, it's true and I will prove it. The first organization I interviewed with was Wayfair. And the interview was set up because I reached out to a hiring manager who referred me to another hiring manager, and the recruiter scheduled the call. A recruiter from Amazon reached out to me purely based on my LinkedIn profile to schedule an interview, after which I was asked to complete the application as a formality. I was advanced straight to the loop at Microsoft after networking with hiring managers across various teams who saw my LinkedIn profile to understand the nature of work I had done. At Netflix, I was introduced to a hiring manager by an e-colleague who happened to be working with a dear friend of mine. At LexisNexis, I had a direct call with the director of product after I reached out to a current employee who forwarded my request. They reached out to me on their own when new roles opened up. And these are just 50% of the organizations that I interviewed at, and all the others have a similar story. And she's saying, why am I sharing this? Because 99% of individuals who are looking for their next role focus on their resume. The focus should be about optimizing your LinkedIn profile and building networking, leading to long-term professional relationships. So I found a couple of things that were proving the point that I was trying to make. Networking works, it works. So you just have to get yourself out there and put yourself out there and let people know that you're looking, that you need help. There's nothing wrong with that. We all need help at some point or another. So let people help you. So different things you can do to network besides just using LinkedIn. Attend career fairs, right? And networking mixers, anything going on campus, attend just to build your network, if nothing else. Connect with alumni, classmates, professors on LinkedIn. Connect with all of them. That's what they're there for. Get involved in organizations, join a professional or networking association. All of those are great ideas to build your network. Get yourself out there, man. Let people find you. Let people appreciate you for what you have to offer. Stop working so hard on your own. Let people help you through the power of networking. Okay, conclusion. Look, looking for permanent, part-time, temporary internship employment is not easy. We all know that. It's time-consuming. It can be exciting at times. It can definitely be frustrating and tiring. Believe it or not, a lot of people find it fun, the process fun of looking for a job, challenging, right? And sometimes painful. But as we all know, hard work and perseverance will pay off in the end. So here's my final thoughts. You want to become a job search specialist. Companies hire those that present themselves in the best way. So find your competitive edge. What is your competitive edge? So these are things to think about. Prove your return on investment to an organization. What are the skills you have that they need? What are the skills that you have that they don't realize they need? It's even better. The employee is the most costly and complex asset of a company. And I hate to say this to students, I really do, but it's the truth. You're nothing more than a salary to the company, okay? It's just the truth. You're money to them. So, you know, you have to put yourself in a light that is going to make you the best person possible for the job, but you also want to try to negotiate for the most money that you can get as well in that job. But don't expect the job to give you your self-worth. That comes from your friends and your hobbies and the things that you do outside of work. Interviewers want to know what you can do to make the company more profitable. Okay, that's a great thing to talk about in an interview. And quite honestly, I don't mention that enough when students come in and talk to me. But besides hitting on their requirements of what they're looking for, gosh, if you have a great idea that might help them make more money, why in the world would I not be interested in hearing that? Don't let job specifications screen you out. I already talked about this. 60% is your goal. Be patient and be respectful of a professional's time. Do not keep contacting people if they haven't got back to you. They're busy. There's a reason why they haven't got back to you. Either they don't have time or it's a no. So think about that. Graduating from Syracuse University gives you strengths and liabilities. Recognize both. Okay, just the fact that you have Syracuse University on your resume is going to open up doors for you. The fact that you have Syracuse University along with the School of Information Studies on your resume is going to open up doors for you. Remember that the employer will not find you. You need to find the employer. And finally, we're so close to the end. Final thoughts. And I know this is corny, but I want you to think about this. Somewhere, someone is looking for exactly what you have to offer. Don't give up. Don't give up. It's the worst thing you can do, because I'm telling you, it's going to be that one time where you're not expecting it. And the next thing you know, 2 companies have contacted you because they want to talk to you about opportunities that they have. Don't give up. And finally, don't compare your struggles to anyone else's. Don't get discouraged by the success of others. Make your own path and never give up. Don't look at LinkedIn and think you're the only one that doesn't have a job. You're the only one that doesn't have an internship. There's hundreds of other students in the exact same boat that you are. Everyone always makes their life seem better on social media. You know that. So stop comparing. Your situation is unique. Your situation is your situation. Focus on yourself. Don't worry about what others are doing. If someone tells you they got a job or internship, that's awesome. Congratulations. And you move on with your life and keep working hard. Yours will come. Just don't give up. Now, common question. Is it too late for me to find an internship for the summer? Or a job for the summer? Guys, look, in our industry, there's no time frame, okay? There's no time frame. Every company, every single company if you're, let's put it this way. If you're a company, you need information management help. You need IT. You need expertise in the skills that we have. Companies are hiring year round. We don't have time frames at the iSchool. You're going to have opportunities for internships even in June for the summer, because companies haven't filled all of their slots yet, and they'll keep it open until they fill it. So there is no such thing as, is it too late for me to find an internship? Keep the course. Now, I want to prove this to you. I know I'm running out of time. Just bear with me. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go to this guy, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go to Handshake. I'm going to go to Jobs. Now check this out. In Handshake, this is my search, and this is what I want you to do. I want you to do this exact search. Summer 2022 internships. Do you see that? Do you see this number? There's 2,000 summer 2022 internships in Handshake as we speak. Now notice that I didn't put in data analyst internships or business analyst internships. I'm just saying internship. So now I can go to the list on the left-hand side and see what internships are available and if there's anything I'm interested in. Then if I want, I can use my filters to help me scale down what it is that I'm looking for, right? So once again, I'm just proving to you that the internships are there.